it's a good caveat because obviously Lawrence is a fantastic player. I'm going to say it's Justin Fields, and I know he's a guy that has had some bad narratives surrounding him over the course of this process, and I don't quite understand why. Listen, this guy is a phenomenal player. We have rarely seen this kind of combination of size, speed, accuracy, acumen, his intelligence, his ability to make plays. He played at the highest level. He's nothing like any of the former Ohio State quarterbacks, and I know that was kind of a knock on him. I think Justin Fields is the guy, and I think it would be, to put it candidly, a mistake if San Francisco drafted anybody other than Justin Fields at number 3.
Joel, why you do this to me? It took me 3 months to get over Justin Fields. I just conceded yesterday and a little bit more this morning, and now you're convincing me that he is the guy. So then why wouldn't the Jets take him? With everything you said.
Well, I don't understand the narrative around Fields, to be honest with you. Let's put it this way. Justin Fields was the best quarterback in all of the Power 5 when it comes to air production. So, Brandon, he didn't have to rely on yards after the catch like a guy like Mac Jones, right? And he operated the system with great efficiency. In fact, 70 and 72% of his air production came through the air. His passing production came through the air the last 2 years. That led the Power 5 in both years. And then his athleticism, I would say, is better than any of these quarterbacks. I just think the last time we were on the field, Brandon, remember, we were talking about did he do enough to maybe even pass Trevor Lawrence as the number 1 pick? And then all of a sudden with and just narratives and hot air, all of a sudden he's falling down draft boards. I just don't buy it. I think Justin Fields is a phenomenal player.
Can I want to jump in real quick and ask Joel a question, staying on quarterback just for a second. Because this is a very pro-Justin Fields show. If I were to tweak the question to, other than Trevor Lawrence, which of these quarterbacks would be most likely to one day be a league MVP? In that question, which is a different question, would you be comfortable with the answer being Trey Lance? Another way to say it, is it possible he has the most upside but also the most unknown? Or do you think I'm off base there?
No, I think that's an interesting way to frame the question. I love Trey Lance as well. I really do. I think that Trey Lance could have higher upside than any other quarterback than Lawrence in the draft. Could have. Because we've seen Fields play at an elite level at kind of the highest levels of college football. And while I still think he can develop, there's clearly a lot of room for Trey Lance. Let me put it to you this way. This guy is like a quarterback infant, right? Like you've heard of Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, right? To be great at anything. And in large part, by the way, guys, it takes about 10,000 passing attempts in your quarterback life to become elite enough to go and potentially win a Super Bowl. And that goes from like high school to college and then all the way into the NFL. To put it a different way, if you take the last 10 quarterbacks to win Super Bowls, they averaged well over 1,200 attempts in college. Trey Lance has 318. So again, he's an infant. He's got huge upside because of his size, his talent, his acumen, the ability to operate a pro system, which he did at North Dakota State. So I buy into Trey Lance. There's no doubt about it. And in the right situation, Nick, I don't think that there's any doubt that he has the potential and the ability to potentially be a league MVP someday.
All right, let's set the quarterbacks aside. I want to talk some wide receivers. There are some star ones in this class. Heisman winner Devontae Smith, his Alabama teammate Jalen Waddle, LSU's Jamar Chase. They could all be instant game changers. Joe, make the call. Who will ultimately be the best skill position player drafted tonight?
That's Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida. He's as good of a player at that position that I've ever seen. Now, granted, it's not traditional. He's not going to get in there and overwhelm anybody with his ability to block. But he is a matchup nightmare. And I know that you hear that all the time from everybody. Matchup nightmare. Let me put it to you this way. I had a coach in the NFL in a conversation tell me, hey, Kyle Pitts is my favorite player in the draft. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I get it. And I said, would you have Would you be comfortable at all? He has got an all-pro corner. All-pro, okay? I'm not going to name names because I don't want to out anybody. And it would cause a rift in this locker room. He has an all-pro corner on his team. And I said, hey, would you feel comfortable if that guy was covering Kyle Pitts? And he says, kind of looks at me and he's like, I mean, we would do it, but I would lose sleep over it. That's the type of ability Kyle Pitts has, okay? So that's already what he's generating in NFL circles. He's big, he's fluid, he's got great wiggle even after the catch for a tight end. He catches it well. He's never panicked in his route structure, which, Brandon, as you know, you can get guys that have great athleticism, but they get panicked in space, right? They get panicked at the catch point. This guy is calm throughout.
That's right.
He's got calm hands, and I think he's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, this isn't a bad pick, Joel. But listen, I don't think NFL teams and defensive coordinators are going to be fooled by this guy. I think that's exactly what we're going to see. I think they're going to approach him as a wide receiver. We're going to see the Stephon Gilmores on him. We're going to see the Ramseys on him. That's what we're going to see. The William Jacksons on him. That's how they're going to approach this. So for me, you know, I don't think this kid, my pick as far as, you know, who's going to be the best skill position player pick tonight, he probably won't make the first round or sneak into the first round. I don't believe he will. Amari Rodgers is the guy to look out for. But there is a guy that's going to probably go at the top of the round, and that's Devontae Smith. Everybody keep talking about how small he is, but when you're a guy, like, to be able to be locked in to go for 1,800 yards and 23 touchdowns, like, people don't understand what that means. I remember I had 21 catches in a game, and I totally blanked out. I blanked out for 3 hours. This dude just went blind and blanked out for a season, because you got to be locked in to do that. To produce at that level says that this kid is special, and if he's in the right situation, we're going to see this dude be lights out for 10 years.
Yeah, I love Devontae Smith. I love Devontae Smith, and I think he can do so many things. I think, Brandon, one of the best things that he provides is a play caller, the opportunity to be creative. Because if you're going to get into some, you know, archaic system where he just lines up on the outside and he's on the line of scrimmage, I think he might get beat up by some physical defensive backs in the NFL. But if you use him like Steve Sarkisian used him at Alabama, put him in motion, get him into the jet sweep game, get him into the screen game, bubbles, then let him attack the middle of the field, in particular with motion or from off the line of scrimmage, then he's absolutely sensational.
Miami Dolphins, Joel. Miami Dolphins.
Quite possibly. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about Kellen Mond. When Brandon isn't all in on absolutely everything the Jets do, obviously he's wearing a jersey for the next 24 straight hours, he's been all in on Kellen Mond as an under-the-radar gem in this class. Show it out at the Senior Bowl. But Joel, make the call. Who will ultimately be the best under-the-radar player picked tonight?
Okay, so a guy I'm hearing a ton about, and he's generating a lot of buzz right now within NFL circles, is Elijah Moore, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. So listen, he's a phenomenal player. I think that he could do big things in the NFL. We're starting to see more of these guys that are smaller in stature and quick as a hiccup do a lot of things in the National Football League. I think Elijah Moore is
quick as a hiccup. Quick as a hiccup. I'm still in that.
Do you see any running back coming out of nowhere and surprising everybody? I know running backs have been super undervalued of late. Do you see a running back making a big jump or surprising people when they get to the league?
I don't know about surprising. I just think that what we're seeing right now is that the versatility of what a running back can provide has never been in terms higher value for teams. So a guy like Travis Etienne, the way that he catches it out of the backfield, the way that Devontae Williams breaks tackles from everywhere on the field, the way that Najee Harris can run inside zone, power, and catch the ball out of the backfield. You just have to be a three-down player and affect the down positively for your offense from anywhere on the field and on any situation. And that's what these running backs, I think, can do, these top three.
Travis Etienne.
Joel Klatt, a wealth of information as always. Thank you so much for hanging out and sharing that with us. And we'll be watching you tonight live on NFL Network's Draft Coverage. Have a good time. Enjoy.